I'm Sophia L. I'm so happy you are here. If you are new here, welcome. We like to give all of our people actually a round of applause upon entering and upon staying and even upon exiting, because if this is not for you, please don't stay. Find something that makes you feel good. Find something that lights your soul up. And if this does that for you, yay, you are my people. Welcome. Here we talk about all things mindset, how the power is within you. You know, everything you need is within you, and how to unlock that and unblock that, clear everything that's in the way of that, so we can remember who the F we came here to be, and that we are loved, worthy, and complete as we are. Stick around, check out my other videos if you are new here and you haven't done so already. And even if you have watched them, I find that I pick up on new things anytime I watch even my own videos. I'll go back and I'm like, oh my God, that was really good. I really needed this in this moment. And when you set the intention that what you need always comes to you, you are always guided by a higher power that you believe in. I call it God, creator, right? A higher creator working on our behalf. And how freaking blessed and lucky are we? That being said, let's get right into today's video. I'm very big on journaling for all things, right? I use journaling for so many different reasons. I have a YouTube video on that you can check out. And last night, I was trying to, not really trying, I don't really like the word trying, because when you're in a trying vibe, it's trying, it's not being. You're going to stay in the trying. So I was getting back into alignment, right? Mindset shift right there. It usually requires me, and in my experience, all people, to quiet their mind, to just be still and kind of like let the clutter clear, you know, the mental clutter. I call it a monkey mind for a reason. You know, it's like random thoughts left and right. It's like monkeys jumping from branch to branch. It's just, sometimes I'll literally picture like a monkey in my mind because I'm like, this is wild. Let's simmer down and let's calm these monkeys down. Really, I mean, let's calm the thoughts down and just clear them up a little bit. I don't want to be so attached to them, right? And you don't either. You want to set intentions and choose which thoughts we are going to pay attention to. There are thoughts that we can just let pass on by. And the more we do that, the more our brain will filter it out. And it'll compartmentalize it. And it'll put it into the not important file. We get to decide what's important to us, right? We don't want our minds to run our lives. And your consciousness is the one who is aware of the thoughts that you are having. You are not your thoughts, because how could you be aware of your thoughts if you were? You don't have to make these thoughts mean anything, especially if they are not something that we want to make mean something about us, right? So we can just acknowledge them and let them pass on by, right? Like clouds in the sky. Let them just go right by. And we don't have to like make it a big deal and make a big drama about it. We just let it be, because we are bigger than that. We are bigger than our thoughts. I want you to sit with this and notice this in yourself. But when I get anxiety and when I'm having like a bad day and nothing bad actually happens, I realize it's because I let my mind run the show. And I wasn't aware of my thoughts, and I wasn't choosing them wisely. I was kind of just letting them take over. We want to come back to ourselves. We want to come back to us, to you, to me. Like, come back to yourself. Set an intention. Anytime I notice my mind taking over, I'm going to come back to myself, right? I'm going to let you in on what I've been up to lately and what I've been finding so beneficial. So I've done breath work in the past, right? Like long sessions, 45-minute sessions, maybe an hour-long sessions. And they're just such an experience. They're such a natural high. It is it blows my mind every time whenever I do long sessions like that, but even like shorter sessions, right? So I started doing this 10-minute breath work every morning, right? Breath work helps me in so many ways. It helps me kind of silent my thoughts again, right? And then it helps me center myself, ground myself, and feels like it moves the energy around in my body. That's what it feels like to me, right? So it's been pretty beneficial. And so I go back to it every morning. And again, it's 10 minutes. It's quick. I feel like I also, at the end of the session, depending on how the session went, and thankfully most sessions go very well. So it feels like I'm winning in that area. And so I keep going back to it. What I mean by that is I can keep up with the breath work. I can keep up with the instructor, and I feel like such a natural high at the end of it. And I feel like I mastered my mind, right? Because we know so many things are a mind game, like the cold plunge, breath work, any adrenaline rush thing that people do, like activities. It's a mind game. You want to overpower your mind. Your mind is going to tell you, like, this is crazy, don't do it, but you want to feel the fear and do it anyway. Of course, not, real life threatening things, but things you want to do that are so enjoyable and give you that adrenaline rush, that natural high, makes you feel alive, then yeah, you want to overpower your mind and do what you want to do, right? And everything at first seems scary, way scarier than it actually is, right? I'm sure you can think back at times where you thought you could never do something or get through something or deal with something, and then you got through it. And when you look back, you're like, oh, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. Or you're like, holy wow, I can't believe I got through that, but thank God. So the breath work, here's what it did for me. I stopped working out, right? My choice of workouts is Pilates or walking, right, in this season of my life. So I stopped doing Pilates, and here is why. I started getting these like muscle spasms, and they freaked me out, right? As they do. I didn't know what the heck was happening. I'm like, what is this? Why is this happening? Never happened before in my life, and then part of me was like, is this like an age thing? Like my mind just automatically went there. Like, is it because I'm getting older? And then I was like, nope, squashed it right there. I'm not about to start thinking that. And honestly, I never want to think that. I never want to think I'm too old for anything. That doesn't mean I'm going to be delusional and do crazy things, but I'm going to do what's right for my body. And I'm going to work with my mind so that my body's in optimal health and vitality. I look and feel amazing at any and every age. And so I'm going to say things like this. And when I don't, and when I say the opposite, like I did program that I'm youthful and strong and healthy, this is not why. That doesn't even make sense. Like I literally will trick my mind. And you should too, because somebody needs to be working with your mind, and you're the only one that can do this in the most beneficial way for you, because you know what you want better than anybody, right? And you're the only one that can really give that to you. So highly advise working with your mind in that way. Say things that you want to believe, and the things that you catch yourself saying that you definitely don't want to take on, and make a belief. Because we know like what we believe will be true for us, right? If you believe, having children is hard and it ruins your life, but whatever wild beliefs you have, your body's going to block you from having children. If you have beliefs like, I can't keep a man, or I can't keep a woman, or nobody wants to be with me long term, or there are no good men or no good women, that's going to be true for you, right? Or like people blame it on like the city they're in. Like, no, stop it. You're working against yourself in doing that. I hear this all the time, and it blows my mind because we just don't realize that we're working against ourselves. So stop. Let other people do that. There are 8 billion people in the world. You don't need to be the one working against you. You should be working for you. Love yourself. Show up for yourself. Work with your mind. Overpower it. Back to the whole muscle spasm thing. So I was getting them. It was freaking me out, right? So then I kind of took a step back on the Pilates because I was like, I don't want to experience this. So my mind would keep telling me like, don't do this, you don't need this. Maybe just don't work out anymore. And this isn't safe anymore. Then I I was like, you know what? No, I got this. I didn't warm up before, I will say that. And 5 minutes into like this 30-minute Pilates session, I couldn't move. I got a muscle spasm in my back. I had to call my husband to help me to move around. I was so scared, right? Because I'm like, is this going to be forever? Like, do you guys remember that video? So I'm like freaking out, in my mind. And I'm like, oh my God, what does this mean? Like, I have a toddler. Like, I can't deal with this. I have so much going on. I cannot deal with this. I mean, who the heck would be like, okay with that? Like, oh, okay, I'll just chill with this for a while. This is fine. I can't even stand up straight. So I'm like hunched over like a freaking, I don't want to say it, but not like a very youthful, healthy person. So he comes in, whatever, and he had to help me with everything for like 24 hours. Thank God I have him. Yes. Thank God, he is a wonderful, loving man and cares about me. And he was so kind with everything. He wasn't like making fun of me. He was just so gentle with me. And I want the people that say things like they don't want to get married or they don't want like a life partner. The people that have like all these fears around it, think it can be easier to feel those things and think those things when you're not thinking about long term. You're thinking about right now where you are capable of doing everything on your own. And it's like, who do you want beside you at the end? Do you want to be alone? Are you good if you're alone? We're not supposed to be alone in this world. That doesn't mean go get married to whoever. That means like you get to be with your soulmate and everything, but you have to be open to it. If you're closed off to it, like as a protective mechanism or whatever it is, you're not going to let it in. They could be in front of your face and you'll not let it in. You'll block yourself from it. Don't do that. Don't do that. So I'm grateful for my husband, but at this point in time, I was like, oh my God, what would I do? Like, if I didn't have him, I was just like in awe of him and the way he was taking care of me. I knew what I was doing at 18 years old when I chose this man. My soul knew. Like, I logically, I don't think I knew. I just thought he was hot. But my soul knew. So thank you, soul. And so after I got through that and that went away, right? Like 24 hours later, which felt like the longest 24 hours of my life, of course, I stopped working out. You better believe I stopped working out. I was like, never again. Oh my God, I can't let that happen again. And then like a month later, so this is every day. Every day I'm like, damn, I really wish I could work out. I had this image in my mind and my body, and that's what I wanted. And I know how to achieve that, and it's through Pilates, right? Because I've done it so many times before. And I really enjoyed Pilates, right? So then I found this breath work that I had in like a playlist of mine. And I literally felt like energy moving in my body. I told myself a better story. Highly, highly advise this as well. Now, part of me didn't believe me, right? But part of me did. And that's the part that I was just like going all in with, So I was like, oh, I needed to move the energy in my body. That's why I was getting those muscle spasms. I needed to move the energy in my body. And as long as I do this, I'll be fine. I can do my Pilates, right? So literally that day, I did Pilates. I didn't let any fear in. Anything that was saying, this is stupid, don't do it. Remember what happened last time? I wasn't paying any attention to that because what I wanted to occur was overriding all that noise. It was louder. I made it louder. I was like, nope, I get to do this. This is something good for my mind, for my body, for my soul. It helps me clear my mind. It helps me get stronger and healthier. I want to live a long and healthy life. Like, I want to honor my body. And so I'm going to do this. And I just moved the energy in my body, and I had it before. So this was the thing that I needed to do. And I was guided here. Of course, you guys, I'm like praying the whole time, like praying for guidance. God, guide me to the thing that's going to help me get back on my mat. Guide me to the ability to do Pilates again, right? And obviously you could apply this to anything. This is why I'm sharing it. Apply it to any area of your life. Ask for guidance. I was led to breath work, right? So it was no accident. And I felt better than I even imagined that I would. And guess what? I'm back at doing Pilates like I never left, you guys. I wanted to trust my body over the fear, over my mind. This is so important in all areas, like I said, right? So you can apply this to any area of your life. And I highly recommend you do. And notice where you don't. And then apply it there too, because we have like faith in some areas of our life, but then not in others, like of course, I'll have a good husband and the amazing kids and the home but not the clients. Or like, of course, I'll have the career and I'll have all the money, but not the family and like the husband and the kids. I just can't have it all. I want you to think about the fact that you were created on purpose. You are here for so many amazing and beautiful reasons. The very fact that you're here is a complete miracle, right? So you are a miracle and you get to have the things that you want. Why wouldn't you, right? We're not even going there. Of course, you get to have the things that you want. So that's going to override any other limiting thought because what are we doing here if not to live our best lives? What I mean by that is like feeling fulfilled, letting love overflow in your life, not blocking our blessings, being in the realm of miracles. Like, yes to all of that, right? Like, are you with me or no? Why else would we sign up for this? Like, Lord knows it's not easy. Why wouldn't we want to experience blessings and miracles? And even when we experience challenges, we see them for what they are, challenges. This is not going to take over my entire life and last forever. It's not gonna last forever. This isn't gonna be forever. And we can know that, but when we don't know that, it's because we've let our minds, we've let fear take over. You can call it whatever you want. You can call it your ego, call it fear, you can call it your nervous system, your subconscious mind. Like all of these are really, they're protectors. They're within us. So we never wanna make them bad or evil because you to your core are good, right? So anything within you is helping you. Let's just decide that and let's know that. And I truly do believe that. But sometimes I can get like really annoyed at my ego. Like today, for example, when I was doing the breath work, again, it's a 10-minute breath work. I'm an air sign, just FYI. So if you are too, and so air and the breath like is important. And I'll just say that. And so when I'm doing this breath work, like the high that I get off of it is like nothing I've ever experienced. And again, it's natural. So it's just such an amazing experience. And I get to do that like from my living room every single day, which is a little miracle in and of itself. And you experience more and more and more when you're open to it, when you're open to and aligned with the realm of miracles. So I couldn't get through the breath work. And now the thing is, when I finish it successfully, I mastered my mind. I mastered my mind. In that moment, it's such a feeling of victory. Now I get to go through my day in this vibe, in this energy, in this alignment with I mastered my mind. I decide. I'm bigger than my mind, right? And you are too. You want to do what gets you there, right? That's natural and good for you. There are things that are available to do that. I highly recommend breath work. That's my like newest go-to. But today I couldn't do it. I attempted it, but my fear was, oh my God, I gotta breathe. Like I can't not breathe. So there's like a hold your breath part of it. And he's talking you through it. And I couldn't do it today, which was just like no big deal. And I'm not going to make it a big deal because all the times that I did do it were amazing. But it's like right before I'm like filming a video, the day that I decided to not have any even bullet points or script, like a mini script or something to go off of, things weren't working out well this morning, okay? Like leading up to this recording. And I could have made that mean it's not meant to be. I'm not supposed to do this. What am I doing? Who am I to do? Like I could have went down such a rabbit hole of negativity, of fear, of ego, whatever you want to call it, right? Of all the blocks. But I chose to overpower that. I wasn't gonna make the breathwork session that I couldn't complete the way that I wanted to. I wasn't gonna make that mean like my whole day is gonna go to shit now. No. Why would I work against myself? I did that for so many years of my life. Sure, you can relate to this. Like we've all done this in the past and we continue to from time to time, but we get to catch ourselves and decide not to, right? We get to decide not to and to just love ourselves enough to work with our minds and to realize like we have so much more power in this whole life thing than we give ourselves credit for. And that we realize I'm like, God is within us. Our desires of our heart are not there by accident. They were put there by God. It is our compass. Like we get to follow these desires of our heart and we get to do the things and have the things and do and have whatever it is that we want. So that's the way I choose to live my life. It's working far better than I ever imagined. It just feels so much better from this place than where my baseline was, 10 years ago or even before that. Another thing I want to say about that is when we're creating our lives, when we're manifesting, when we're co creating, I want to say actually, because I believe like it's with God. I want God with me. And if it's for me, then obviously I'll have guidance from God and we'll do the things together and we'll co create, right? Thing about manifesting and creating this. When we do things, when we set intentions, when we overpower our ego, our minds, and we are like aligned with our soul, our heart's desires, God within us, we're in our power in the spiritual realm, it is done. We can trust, know, and believe that it's already done. In fact, we want to get there. It'll highly benefit you to get to a place of, I've decided, I'm clear on what I want, I'm going for it. I know I will be guided every step of the way. I only need to see the next step. And once I take the next step, the other one will appear. And that's the way it gets to work for me. There are so many beautiful, positive, beneficial sayings. And there are things like drama and the news and the vibe we're in, like it sets off vibrations around us and it affects the people around us, right? And then they go and they affect other people. You're not doing any good by staying in a low vibration, thinking low, negative thoughts, and working against yourself, right? I want you to just try for a moment and just look at your life bird's eye view. And I want you to look at it like somebody so loving, somebody that completely unconditionally loves you fully at your core for who you are just because you are born. And if you can't think of anybody, you be that for yourself or let God be that for you. And I want you to see yourself in your life from that view, from that very loving place and just wanting the best for you, right? Like a mom. How would you do things differently? How would you wish, as that person that completely loves you unconditionally, like hope and pray for you to operate in your life and to show up in your life? Because if it's the way you've been doing things, then I guess continue. If that's what's working for you, continue. But if not, change things up. Change things up. Know that you are worthy because you are. Know that you get to live a good life. Know that you get to feel good. Know that your kids deserve a happy mom. We don't want our kids to have to heal from their childhood with you. Right? Like, we don't want that if you have children, obviously. And I think that is inevitable. Like, in some ways, they will have things that they'll need to, like, look back at and heal and address from their childhood. But don't you want to be their, like, constant source of unconditional love? I'm, like, constantly working on this, by the way. Let's be aware of how we show up and we all affect each other and we want our kids to be happy and good in life and feel loved and fulfilled and worthy of everything they want out of life. It starts with us. Let's pave the way. Let's guide and lead them the way we're meant to. That's why they're here. That's why they're yours. They say your kids are your greatest lessons, and I find it to be very true. We only get one shot at this, and before we know it, they will be fully grown, living their own lives out of your home. And we want to like be proud of how we did the whole mothering thing. That sits well with our soul. Sorry, I went off on a tangent there. Not sorry. But so the thing about manifesting creating that I wanted to say, and I'm going to wrap this up, is that it's down in the spiritual realm. Once we decide, once we co-create with God and we're clear on what it is we want and we have a vivid picture in our minds of what it is. I know not everybody can imagine things and see things in their imagination, so you write it out, you say it out loud, you voice record yourself. You get very clear on what it is that you want, right? As if it's already in front of you. So if it is a family, maybe you don't picture the faces or maybe you're not clear on that, but you're clear on how tall is he, how many children, girl or boy, what is your dynamic like? You get to have the family maybe you never had, or the family that you did have growing up. You get to build your own. Just imagine it the way that you want. Maybe it's a career. How do you want it? How many people are working for you? What kind of work are you putting out into the world? Does it light you up? Are you happy most of the time? Are you fulfilled? Do you go to sleep feeling just good with life? Like if this was your last day, are you good with the way things are? And that's not meaning that they're perfect. In some of my audios, I'll say, like, you are worthy, whole, complete, you are perfect as you are, because I do believe God creates perfection in His own way. Having things perfect, I feel like we just need to alter, like, what we deem perfection. Like, let's just, are we healthy? Are we happy? Do we have more than enough or enough? Did we laugh today? Did we smile? Did we hug each other? Did we embrace each other? Did we play together? Did we laugh? Did we have a good meal together? Like, what are your non-negotiables? Like maybe think of some non-negotiables and like let them not be impossible. Like work with yourself and know that the image that you got very clear on, right? This thing that you are co-creating, manifesting, it has no choice but to come. It's going to come. And the longer you stay in that state of delusion, you can call it, right? Because if it's not occurring right now, but what if this is an illusion? Like what if all possibilities exist, all realms exist, and which one you align with is entirely up to you. Through what you're thinking, feeling, and being. Like, what is your identity right now? Watch my last video for more on identity. Those are choices that you get to make every day, right? Because they are within you. They are nothing outside of you. You don't need anything outside of you. You really do have everything you need within you. So you get to decide every morning how you're going to think, how you're going to feel, and who you are. Like what gets to occur for you. Is everybody that you pass by kind? Does everybody hold the door open for you? Does everybody say thank you when you hold the door open for them? Every interaction in that day may be going to be like a blessing, like just little blessings, little miracles all day. Oh my God, what a great exchange we had. It was so powerful. It was so deep. Maybe it was light and enjoyable. Maybe you saw the love of your life. Whatever it is, like work with your mind. Know that these things are coming, that the things that you co-created and manifested and that are down in the spiritual realm, for some, it's going to be harder to stay in that state of it's already happening. Because like what we're seeing is not, and what we're experiencing might not be like what the vision is, the big vision that we have that we're manifesting. You want to overpower that with, but it's working, but it's happening. Everything is compounding. It's all leading to this. Everything, even the things that are seemingly like annoying or a bother or a problem or a big issue. These are challenges that we get to grow through. We get to even thank them. It's a part of life, and the less power we give problems, the less power they have over us. So you get to stay in your power, and you get to stay as the most powerful one in your life for your life, right? You and God. And you get to pause and just, God, help me through this. God, help me see this clearly. Is it this catastrophe or will this even just work itself out? How much energy, how much effort do I need to put into this thing? I know oftentimes, even when it doesn't look like it, problems solve themselves. Even with the most difficult people, pray for people, even people that annoy you to no end, especially for them. Like, pray for them. Pray that they find peace and joy and love. Pray for them and watch how they're no longer an issue. It's a pretty miraculous thing that happens when you fully come from your heart and just like pray for them. Anyone and anything I've ever done this on has dissolved, disappeared, figured itself out in miraculous ways. Where times when I think back and I remember the peak of the problem that that person or that thing was, and it was like at its worst, it didn't seem like there was an end in sight. When it looks so bad, like it'll never end and it's always going to be like this, like that's a big lie. And we get to see it for what it is and call it out. Of course, this isn't going to last forever. There's no problem that I've ever had that lasted forever. I can look back at my life and take inventory on all the issues that have occurred and challenges in my life, people, things, whatever, and know that it is true that none of it lasted forever. So you get to clear it up even quicker by praying for them, blessing yourself, and praying and asking for guidance. When you have so much love in you have more of it to give. And you want to be in that state because it feels so good to come from that place. It feels so good to live from that state, to know what if this challenge is here to teach me something, to open me up to my next level? What if I can't see it right now, but this might be the best freaking thing that happens to me? And just like be open to miracles. That's what it means to be open to miracles. Like even the negative, even the challenges, open our minds up to the idea that this could turn into something beautiful. This can turn into a miracle. This might be a miracle in disguise. Work with your mind. Know that the longer you stay in the state of, some people call it a wish fulfilled, manifestation, as if it's already done, and you step into this new identity of the version of you that is the way you want to be, do and feel, like whatever you want to be doing, how you want to be feeling, that version of you, this newer identity of yours, things get to occur differently now. So even when they're not, you're still in your mind saying, well, this is actually going to shift and this might shift into different things. Again, open to miracles, knowing you've got your back. God, of course, has got your back. You've got you. You got this. You're good. You keep going on the path that you are on, knowing it's all adding up. It all gets to multiply, it all gets to compound over time. Of course, you're already there, you're already her. And the work that you are doing currently will be shown to you, like the fruits of your labor, so to speak, will be presented to you. They will bloom. It's like when we plant a seed, we don't like sit there and watch it, expecting it to grow any second. Like, no, we water it. So, the way you're going to water the manifestations in your mind is knowing that they're coming true, having faith in them, speaking blessings on them. They're coming, they're already here. I can already feel it. If I can already feel it, that must mean they're so close. They're already here. Things are just shifting and moving around, and God's like working things in my favor, and it's already happening. And this is how you water the manifestations, right? This is how, like, the way you would water a seed that you planted, right? But in this case, we're planting seeds in our mind and in the universe. Like we're putting it out, we're signaling out what we want, and it's just a matter of time before we experience it. But you want to always bring yourself back to fully backing it, to fully having faith in it. Of course, it's going to happen. Of course, it's going to happen. And it's more than possible. If you can see it in your mind, it'll happen. If you can see yourself doing the thing, or like I said, if you can't visualize, if you can feel into it, like get some of your senses activated into this new way of being, whatever it is that you're calling and manifesting, just it's inevitable. It is inevitable, and you want to drill that into your beautiful mind. It is inevitable. Of course, it's going to happen. And you work with your mind. Even when it doesn't look like it's happening, it's happening. Of course, it's happening. This is nothing compared to what is possible, what I'm asking for. Don't make the thing that you're wanting I don't care what it is, if it's a human, if it's a brand new house, if it's a business that you haven't even started yet, but you're building an empire or you want to be, right? Don't make it such a big thing. Just know, like to God, to the universe, it's this big. Our little human minds think it's like this whole big thing, but these things occur every day and bigger. We can know and trust that it's not that big. It's not that big. And it's not to make it small. It's just, it's not this big impossible thing either. Miracles happen every day. Would this be like a miracle? Sure, but it's nothing to God. It's no big deal. So your job is to stay in the state of receiving, stay in the realm of miracles and watch the miracles flow in. And then you start to see it in everything in the beautiful sky. I'm driving the other day, right? I was having a day. So I decided to take a drive, right? Which always shifts me like out of a weird or like state that I don't want to be in into a better one. And I'm driving and it's cloudy and it looks like it's gonna snow. I'm about turning back around and then the clouds break, right? And I'm getting onto this bridge. Such a miraculous thing. It was so beautiful. Like it just felt like it was for me. And it was such a beautiful moment. And it instantly just put me into gratitude. It put me into the realm of miracles. And it was something really simple to God. To me, it was like this beautiful, it was just so beautiful. I'm like, this is like the most beautiful painting ever. Like the clouds cleared up and I saw more of the blue sky and it was like it was all working out for me, you know? And that's what I find happens, not just on my drives alone, but in life. When you're in that headspace, when you're working with your mind, when you are not letting your mind take over, but you take over, and you know, like, no, mind, actually, like, feel the fear. I'm going to do it anyway. Like today, I didn't really want to do this, you know? And I was just like, I couldn't do the breath work. And like, I could have, you know, like I said, let the fear, the limiting beliefs take over. It would be so much nicer to just sit on the couch and comfy, no makeup. I was like, no, no, I'm gonna like push through. So if I listened to my mind, I would probably be doing that. I'd be on the couch right now because I have childcare. And I would have been fine too. It wouldn't have been like the worst thing in the world. But I'm so much happier that I did this instead. I'm so much happier that I chose to do this and that I chose to stick with the plan. Your feelings aren't supposed to run your life. Stick with what you planned on doing when you know it's for the highest good. Do that. And know that the efforts that you're putting in now, you will bear the fruit. Like you will watch it bloom. You will watch your manifestations bloom, but you got to know that it's possible, more than possible, that it's already done in the spiritual realm. And it's just a matter of time before you see it in this 3D reality, but you will. Of course you will. I can't wait to hear all about it. So back here and comment below and let me know every manifestation, if you feel comfortable sharing, that you saw yourself experiencing in your mind's eye and then you experienced it in real life. But like ones in the past and what you're calling in. And yeah, you're safe, you're protected, divinely guided, loved, worthy, enough, whole, and complete as you are. Thank you for being here. Leave a yellow heart if you stayed until the end. And I'll see you next time. Also, like, comment, and subscribe, and share this with someone who might need it, might benefit from it. Love you. Bye.